Hello. I say that with such a funny look on my face as we're in the position we're always in the mornings, where I have absolutely no idea whether this is working or not. And unfortunately, I've left my iPad in the house, so I'm going to have to try and work this out on my wee phone. So give me a second. Let's see whether we're actually live. That's a playlist. Oh dear. I mean, every week there we go, live, good. I'm battling the fact that I need a 10-year-old to show me how to work with all the tech in here. That's not true. I know what I'm doing. It's just, it's more just a kind of like, I'm in a rush, right? Okay. It's not upcoming. We're doing it. There we go. Yeah, I'm in a, well, not a rush, that's the wrong word, but just, I kind of get everything set up, and then it's like literally 1:45 is when I hit go, and then I'm like, oh. So it doesn't look as though anyone's on yet, so I'm talking to myself, which is quite nice. Let me just check. I want to make sure, because there's 8 of you watching, so why is that not updating? Oh well. I might have to do, I don't know. I mean, tell you what it is. It's not that I'm useless. It's that I expect things to happen of like the apps and things that I use on computer that don't actually happen. So, yeah, that's a bit strange. Because there's Helen saying, good morning, folks. Whereas it doesn't say it on my Mac. It does say it on my phone. Anyway, right. That's my usual nonsense covered. Just got to try and, why can't I see the actual messages on here? That's the thing. Turn on monetization? No, we don't turn on monetization for these, because that would be annoying. Imagine you were rowing. I mean, I fundamentally disagree with, I'm here in my Go Faster RowAlong kit. Oh, very nice. Yeah, I know sometimes I'm not being rude about other people, but because YouTube has an annoying habit of just bringing in things and then not telling creators about it. So there was a point where they automatically started to insert adverts in the middle of longer videos if you didn't select a button saying don't show them mid-roll. And so lots of people who were making things like rowing workouts, let's not call them row-alongs, didn't know it had happened, and so you'd be doing one of their workouts and suddenly an advert would pop up, and what's the point in that? So, and it's the same with these live things. It does say right at the beginning, monetize it, and you get this big message pops up saying, you're not going to earn any money if you don't monetize it, and I'm like, yeah, no, but I also don't want to break halfway through with an advert for, I don't know, Grammarly. Yeah, so, anyway, that's that rant over. Yeah, anyone see that just says, and that just says learn more, and I don't need a thing to say learn more, right? I want to find out why I can't get my little chat window up in here, because without my iPad next to me, I'm not going to be able to see what people are saying mid-row. And I quite like it when I see what people are saying mid-row, but it's not coming up. Hang on, that's that. I mean, 11 people right now are watching, and I hope you're all agreeing that this is currently TV gold. On the WaterRower today, let's get back into actual rowing, and I'll sit properly on it, because that's how I did my back out last time, was by sitting side saddle. Yeah, so on the WaterRower today, you can see it's like how low down the seat is. Like, look at, like, my knees are completely popped up here. It's quite uncomfortable to sit on as a seat. Concept 2, lovely to sit on as a seat, because it's quite high. This one, not as much. It's kind of, you're quite bound up, but once you start rowing, that's all that matters. It's just the sitting before you start that's the bit of a problem, because it's a bit uncomfortable. The old one, the other one, I've got the what was it called, the performance version, which I just don't use. You do sit higher, but unfortunately, because it's the dual rail one, your knees are a lot closer together, because your feet are between the 2 rails, and so everything's kind of cramped up, and that's why I just don't use it. I don't enjoy rowing on it at all. I just want to make sure my straps are at the right height for, yeah, you can see I'm a bit bound up, but it's like, look at that. You can see my knees are kind of almost in my face as I come forwards. So even though the straps are covering pretty much the balls of my feet, I'm going to lower them, because it's not just about reading somewhere that, oh, the strap should cover the balls of your feet. It's also about your comfort. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4 holes showing, and I'm going to drop it down to 2 holes showing, see if that makes any difference. Because even in that little test just then that I did, see there, it's coming over my toes a little bit, this might be a bit too low. I could feel as I just rolling forwards that everything suddenly went round my lower back, right down here. Suddenly got quite sore from as I rolled forward. So there you go. So that's definitely, my knees aren't in my face anymore. And this is just, I think, reduced flexibility for the fact that it's almost 9 o'clock in the morning and I'm only just starting to kind of move properly. So technically I could probably lower them a little bit more in terms of trying to get the angles between my feet and my knees, etc. But like I say, the strap, I don't know if you can see, but the strap is kind of, it's across the, what would you say? The kind of the knuckle of my, knuckle, who makes it sound awful? Knuckle of my big toe. So I wouldn't want to go any lower because that's when it starts to get a bit uncomfortable in terms of straps. I could always just row strapless. That would be just as comfortable. Right, what I haven't done yet is actually connect to Xer. So let's get that done next. Remember that one time when I forgot to do this? So I have to, so this means I'm not going to get to see anyone's comments. Doing sprints? No, I'm not. Well, I don't think so, Andrew. I'm still, I'll see how I feel. It depends I can't remember how long the sprints are on this course. So if the short ones, possibly. If the long ones, no. I need to just be careful of various injuries and stuff. I wanted smart row. All right. Apologies. But you sprint, no, don't wait for me. Right, hang on, where am I? Right, okay, so Smart Row app. This is what I forgot last time. Like I say, remember that one time I totally forgot and I was changing machines in a mad panic because I'd forgotten this part. Pulling the handle to get it going, just to kind of wake up the pulley, and then go to broadcasting and set it to Xer, apply, and then it should then broadcast. And then if I go to connect rower, it sees Smart Row. Also still sees my Averon bike. One of these days I should just do that, shouldn't I? Just bring the Averon bike in and just pedal away. And people would be like, what? Although I don't know whether that actually works. We should do it as a test just to see what happens, really. Hey, there's a fun video. The Xer guys will be like, what are you doing? My relationship with them will just get instantly torpedoed. Heart rate monitor. Whoa, where did that come and go so quick? I forgot to put my watch on today, so all we have today is my MyZone. Excuse me. I'm gonna hit start on Smart Row, right? So I definitely now, why can't you see? Hello? You cannot see my, oh, did it just pop up right at the very end as I closed it? Well, be more patient, John. Be more patient. I feel slightly lost without my iPad for checking people's messages. There you go. See, look, my zone is right there. You almost didn't see it, but it's right there. My zone 00007. I mean, the my zone, as far as heart rate monitor is concerned, again for rowing, sometimes you'll see it. It's a little bit rubbish during the row itself. In terms of, I don't know what happens if I put Smart Row in the background. I'd hate to think that's suddenly kind of crapped out. But I want to see if people have said anything. Oh no, it does say Smart Row. You're in a workout. Click here to continue. So I will when we start. Who have we got? So Tobias says, "Good morning together." Good morning, Tobias. CBDB says, "Hi, I've been AWOL, running a lot." Very nice. Always a good idea to mix up what you're doing. As much as I'm kind of the rowing bore guy, hey, let's not use the word bore. As much as I'm the rowing guy, I also, what's with the timer at the top of that? 36:05, what's it saying? Anyway, the importance of mixing up your training. I mean, listen, I'm also the Hyrox guy in terms of boring people. In fact, I think I'm completely branded Hyrox today. I've got my Hyrox shorts on, very nice. I've got my Hyrox shell on, very nice. I've even got a Hyrox water bottle, which Julie bought me for my birthday a couple of years ago. I hate to think how much this cost. It's like, it's not even one of the insulated ones. It just looks like a water bottle, but I can almost guarantee this would have been like 20, 30 pounds. And as far as these kind of chili bottle types are concerned, it's rubbish. It might hold 750 mils of water, but in terms of it being an actual kind of insulated chili bottle, rubbish, okay? Definitely one of those times where Hyrox have said, hey, we can make money from people by selling them the lowest possible kind of quality something. Not that I'm having a dig at Hyrox, of course, but... So Helen's timer says 44:08. I think there's something slightly wrong with... I'll get in touch with Max Xer and say, what's going on with your timer at the top? Right, so I've still got 4.5 minutes to go in terms of my waffling. And I'm doing what I normally do. I'm jumping between conversations. You have to try and keep up. Nick Fox says, happy Sunday, looking forward to this morning's row. Now, we've got 4 minutes and change to go. So what I'd recommend is that you do some kind of a warm up in terms of just moving. Don't just kind of sit here and wait for the row to start. Even if you're just rocking up and down a little bit and kind of just making sure that your body's ready, you kind of like think about your posture and stuff. Maybe you want to just do some kind of arms only rowing, or some kind of do the arms away and body rock, just kind of get this sorted. Because actually I'll talk about it now just for kind of, I might bring it back up again during the main row, but every now and then I'll have a bugbear. I'll start talking about things. I'll be like, hey, the importance of posture, the importance of so-and-so. And usually it's led by getting a flurry of the same questions from people. Hang on, I just want to make sure that I'm actually that's still playing in the background. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I get like a flurry of the same questions from people kind of saying, oh, why can't I get this right? And what's happened right now is I'm getting loads of people who are saying, oh, can you help with my stroke? Can you, what's going wrong? Why can't I get the power in? And what I'm really noticing right now is people kind of, they finish the stroke and then everything comes in so that at the last minute, they hit the catch in kind of the right position, all right? So they kind of finish the stroke and then they go, way, arms are coming forwards, back's leaning forwards at the same time, and then they get into a catch position. Which, I mean, they get to the catch, so it's kind of, you could kind of say, well, they're getting the catch in the right position. But the problem is it comes down to consistency and also the concentration on being able to hold that position. And so I was answering somebody yesterday on the Facebook group who'd asked for a technique review, and I hadn't caught it. It was like 8 days late, so I felt really quite embarrassed about waiting so late to kind of leave a comment. But what was happening is that she was coming into the front and she was doing that thing, but then what would happen is that she'd launch her back even before pushing with her legs. And I think what I was seeing was it's because she's kind of coming in like that, and it's almost like it was like a pendulum backwards and forwards that she was doing, kind of coming backwards. Whereas what you want to do is you want to get your position sorted, roll into the front, and then really think about holding that position rather than it being a tick, tock, tick, tock. It's not how it works. Rowing isn't a tick, tock movement like this. Oh, I feel a video coming on. It's not, I talk about pendulum. In fact, yeah. I'm just having a, have you ever seen House? The medical drama with Hugh Laurie. I was about to say Hugh Grant, but that's a completely different Hugh. But someone will come in with like some weird, wacky, there's something very wrong with them, and he has to try and diagnose them. He's a clinical diagnosticanist. So I'm getting the straps because when we have to be ready to go. So in fact, I should, oh no, what am I doing? Right, I get the feeling I'm going to be spilling this chat on into the start of the road, to be honest. We've only got a minute to go until we're starting. So remember, there's a delay between what you're seeing on YouTube and what's happening on Xer. So if you're running both of them together, look at your Xer app for the start, not at YouTube, because I don't know what the delay is, but yeah. All right, hang on. Our start times are different too. I'm 12 seconds ahead of you. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if there's a... I wonder whether this is a... No, they wouldn't have done it as a duck and hare, or rabbit and hare thing. Duck and hare. No, what is it? Andrew will tell me. Tortoise and hare, that's the one. Right, I need to go back into Smart Row, so I'm not going to see anyone's messages for a while, because I'm going to go back into Smart Row for... hopefully this is going to work. Hey, Helen, you're right next to me as well. How can you be? And there's Robert Austin as well. Hey, Robert. Eddie Farr. Lots of familiar people. 62 people rowing today. Numbers are down, but of course it is a Sunday morning, so I'm not surprised. Okay, 15 seconds to go. Who's that just arriving? Oh, she's going straight through. Helging's just gone straight through. 10 seconds. You getting ready? Right, so nice slow intensity or low intensity for me to start with, and then I'll build up a little bit, but unlikely to be sprinting. Sorry, Andrew. 2, 1, let's go. Right, am I going to be moving? Or has that whole, oh yeah, there we go. Oh. So, right, I've got to try and catch up on various conversations now, haven't I? I know I'm at 2:29 right now, but I'm just making sure everybody's moving. There's Robert Cordier. There's Goldfinger. No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. Wonder how annoyed G. Goldfinger gets about people saying that to him or her. Okay. So settle into this pace for a while just to get body moving. There's Nick Fox. Hey. That's interesting. So, oh no, it was glasses. I thought that person who I just passed was wearing a mask. I think it was sunglasses. Right. What conversations do we have on the trot right now? We've got my technique, catching my breath. Technique thing, house. Got the fact we're starting the row. The fact that we're doing this on the WaterRower using the Smart Row app. Oh, what one do I finish off first? Okay, so we're going to be just rowing at a light intensity just to get our bodies moving. Get used to the fact that you're having a wee row today. Okay, so just think about, really if you can think about your arms, everything else hopefully will follow. I'm not going to say fall into place, but it'll follow. So if you can think about the arms away, so when you finish a stroke here, just think about letting the handle come straight back out again at the same speed you pulled in at. And then the arms away triggers your forwards tilt. And then you're set in that position before you bend your knees, so that there is very little arm or back movement once you start bending your knees to slide forwards. And then just think about that rock into the front and holding it as you push your legs into the machine, and then rocking back to that backwards tilt to not only add power but also have a comfortable finish. I wouldn't like to finish tilting forwards. Right, so think about that for a few minutes. I'll talk technique a little bit more in a sec. Let's go to tech next. So, as you can see, I'm on the WaterRower today, mostly just because I wanted to mix things up. I've been using the Concept 2 solidly for the past couple of weeks on my return to training. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but I do like just mixing things up. It's like what I was saying before we started about different training types. Like, it's good to add in cycling alongside rowing. I think I was at my best performance when I was commuting to work every day on the bike. So I'd have like a 25-kilometer round trip, as well as the various rowing training I was doing as well. Not just because of a volume thing, but I just think there was something in the kind of cycling muscles, maybe even the way I used to cycle in traffic, racing from light to light, that really helped my rowing. Or running is just, if your body can take it, is a great activity, especially when it comes to bone density. If you always do low impact or no impact sports, it can have quite a detrimental effect on your bone densities. Like, your body responds to the impact of walking and running to kind of strengthen the bones. Read up about it if you're interested in that. That's very much a headline because I can't remember the actual details. But yeah, so that's why I do enjoy the high rock stuff, is because it gives me a reason to train in loads of different ways. It could be said that having not one single focus means that I'm okay at all of the elements rather than being really good at one of them. But I think therein lies my plans for the year, because I have to kind of make a decision what to do about returning to indoor rowing racing now that I'm 50. Does it make sense, because I'm the young pup in the age group, to really throw myself at it again? Unfortunately though, my success lay in being a lightweight rower, not a heavyweight. And right now, I am quite heavyweight. I weighed myself on Monday. Was it Monday or Tuesday? Might have been Tuesday this week. And I was 83 kilograms, which is 8k over the lightweight limit. So I got quite a lot of work to do to get down to the 75 lightweight. The good news though is that that's not all going to come round until, well, September at the earliest in terms of actual races. So I've got time in terms of setting this as a long-term goal. Let's say it is September. We'll call that 6 months to lose 8 kilograms, which is what, 16, 17 pounds. 6 months. Call that, what, 25 weeks? Or 26, I suppose. So it's less than £1 a week I need to lose in order to hit my goal. So looking at 17 pounds, wow, it's a lot of weight. That's over a stone. That's unachievable. But less than £1 a week, that's a calorie deficit of what, 400 a day? That's easy. I just have to watch what I'm doing, be healthy, maybe check portion sizes, all that stuff, while looking at making sure I'm fueling properly for exercise. There's no point hitting a 400 calorie deficit and then throwing exercise on top of that. That's where extreme fatigue sets in, because I could end up like 1200 calories in deficit every day if I did that. So there's a balance. And that's where apps like MyFitnessPal can be quite useful in terms of tracking your food intake, your goals, and your energy expenditure. So if you're doing something similar to me, I do recommend even the free version of MyFitnessPal when it comes to trying to keep across your calorie intake. This is why yesterday on the Facebook group, okay, herd just raced through. Yesterday on the Facebook group, I posted a message saying, I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you have set a long-term goal, remember, it's long-term. You can't expect to hit it in 3 days. So I, after a couple of months of injury and stuff, had to take a break from training for 3 weeks or so, added to leading quite an unhealthy lifestyle in terms of food and drink. And so I've not only lost some muscle mass, I've added some mass around my stomach, let's say. So I recognize this, and this is why I'm talking about it this way. I know what's happened to put me in this position of being 83 kilograms. But I also know that no matter what I do, I'm not going to be back to how I was in just a couple of weeks. I might get down to 81, 80 maybe, by the end of the month if I really threw myself into it. But again, it's not sustainable to do that, right? Hang on. Is this just a lap or is this a sprint? Just a lap, isn't it? Oh well. And so I found myself yesterday, in fact, yesterday was a bad day in terms of body image, because I went to film my friend Martin Boyce running the Glasgow High Rocks race, which I had to pull out of because of my injuries and my operation on my back. So I gave him my ticket. He came up, and so I said I'd film him going round. He'll be on his YouTube channel soon. And so I'm suddenly back in the world of high rocks, literally surrounded by it, with all these topless Adonises running around me. And I'm in my High Rocks t-shirt that used to be roomy and baggy, and I can feel my stomach and my sides, my haunches, I call them, are constantly touching the bottom of the t-shirt. And that never happens. The bottom of my t-shirts always flow nice and freely when I'm in proper shape. So already I've got the telltale signs that of the kind of the damage I've done, let's say. And then, then I'm looking around and I'm seeing six packs and rippling pectorals everywhere, men and women. And then walk past a mirror and see myself, see the change, and really had to take stock for a moment and kind of go, right, you're not happy with where you are right now, but number one, you're doing something about it. Number two, you can't expect it all to change in a week. And number three, who cares what they all look like? Pretty much everybody I was comparing myself to were in the 20 to 29 category. So it's down to the same thing as rowing performance. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. It's me versus me. Set your own goal. Try to be faster tomorrow or fitter tomorrow than you are today. And that's what really is important when it comes to your own training, is just setting that goal and being patient. It's not to say you don't set short-term goals. Like I say, I'm setting myself the goal of losing 1 pound a week. Sometimes I might hit that 1 pound. Sometimes I might have a great week and lose 2 pounds. Other times I might not see any change at all. And short-term goals should be about taking stock of your here and now. So maybe you want to lose 30 seconds from your 2K in 6 months. So say that's around about a second a week you need to take off, or 5 seconds a month, let's just say that, as a kind of a proper measurable goal. So every month you do a 2K and you're hoping to take 5 seconds off per month, but that does translate to a second a week. So you need to be putting in training that helps you get progressively faster. And you need to take stock of how you're doing. Did you work at a low enough intensity? For fitness, did you manage to hold the max intensity workout? Did you go faster than the pace guide and the max stuff? And then you can do the time trial at the end of the month, see how it's stacked up. Or in my case, I can use my Fitness Pal to track my nutrition. I use the journal book that I've written, or the app I'm about to release, to track how I feel, how my training went, so I can look back on it. So at the end of a week, if I weigh myself and I haven't hit my goal, I can look back on it. I can go, oh, hang on, Wednesday, we turned into the Cookie Monster. Got to stop doing that. then work out why. What was it about Wednesday that made me raid the cookie jar? You've also got to recognize what your body and mind where they deviate, where your mind might be like, I recognize that we are trying to lose weight, but I really want some chocolate. See what the triggers are for that. But also, you can't throw too much at your body at the same time. So I've been back training. What's this? We're going into week 3, of my return. So, or week 4. So I got the stitches out and they said I was able to run and bike, but nothing else. So I did that, but not particularly hard. Then I got the stitches out and they said I was good to train again. But I knew that if I went straight back into previous routine, I'd end up either injuring myself or with DOMs, or something would go wrong. So that first week back, hey, there's Tico. First week back, took it easy. It was mostly cardio, light weights. So lightweight and only 2 sets of 15 reps. And then last week, I upped the cardio by adding in a 20 to 25 minute bike ride in the morning, as well as my lunchtime training, and also went from 2 to 3 sets of 15 of the weights. But diet-wise, didn't change much. All I've done is completely cut out alcohol again, because February was celebrating my 50th and stuff, so kind of let the wagon roll a little bit. But then I was still eating breakfast. If I was hungry, I'd go into the kitchen and get a snack and stuff, because I didn't want to throw too much at my body at the same time. Because if you try and go to a completely clean diet, up your cardio, up your resistance training all at the same time, your body's not going to react well to it. So with the benefit of knowing I've got 6 months to get in shape fully, I can take it slowly, can up the cardio, up the weights, and then this week is when I go back to the 16-8 intermittent fasting, which does work really well for me. I'll keep an eye on energy levels in case the 20-minute bike in the mornings starts to demand food, in which case I'll rethink it, but that's the plan anyway. Big long chat, but what I'm trying to say is Rome wasn't built in a day. You need to be the architect of your own change. Understand how your body responds to training and nutrition. Take advice, but also everyone's not the same. So understand your own body. It's like people saying, I shouldn't do the 16-8 diet and train at the same time. But they don't know what I'm eating in those 8 hours. So, anyway. So, right back to the beginning of this row. Technique and house. So, house MD would be presented with a medical thing, then he'd have an epiphany for what was happening. And I think I may have had a slight epiphany when it comes to the rhythm of people rowing, where we use phrases like pendulum and swing and rhythm and ratio, and it can often lead to people thinking that it is a one-to-one ratio in terms of slide and drive, but also that the body is in constant motion. So rock forwards, but then instantly rock backwards, so forwards, backwards, like a pendulum, which isn't right. You spend 2/3 of the stroke in this forwards tilt. So you go forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. It's the amount of time between me saying forwards and backwards and then back to forwards again. Does that make sense? So forwards, backwards, forwards, 2, 3, backwards, forwards, 2, 3, backwards, forwards, 2, 3. Get what I mean? I hope so. So, completely messed up my own stroke there. Let's get back into it. There you go, that's better. So what I'm saying is that I want you to think about arms away, setting your forwards tilt, woof, then pushing with the legs. And only swinging. Like hold that back angle for as long as possible, and only swing when your legs are about halfway done. Whew. So, we've got just over a minute to go. I don't think there were any sprints, or did I miss them? So maybe I should have said, yes, Andrew, I will be sprinting. All worked well. Exercise seemed, apart from the odd time to go bar at the top, exercise seems stable today, as it usually does. It's a nice map, this Boston Arsenal. My Smart Row pulley works perfectly, as it should. Smart Row is, after all, my recommended upgrade if you have a WaterRower, because you get much more accurate and reliable data. And just to say, those of you without a WaterRower, you might soon be able to get in on the game too. Tease. Whew. I've been helping test something for Smart Row for a good year, I figure. And hopefully it's going to be out soon. There's a tease. So, ta-da! Let's go back to, let's do open report so you can see, that's my report. All very even, bit up and down pace-wise. As much as I'm talking to you about stroke and concentration and stuff, Must be said while I'm talking, especially at the end. You can see the bump. I don't know if my mouse is live, but yeah, go there. That's round about when I was showing you the bad stroke, the pendulum one. And it took me, you can see it dip down. It took me a while to go, oh, hang on, let's tighten up your technique. Because I'd lost concentration and kind of lapsed. So it was mostly 205, which is kind of what I wanted, because I'm still not back to being proper me, must be said. So, right. Let's see if I'm going to quit Smart Row. Do you want to save? Yes, I'm going to end up with like 4 different Strava entries now from doing this. YouTube. Okay. Who's been saying stuff? Hello, everybody. Oh, it's not too chatty, actually. Apart from De Nouvelle. Hi. Is there a way to hide the names and flags of others in order to have a nicer view of the landscape? I don't think so. Can I go back to... Can I go back? No, I'll keep rowing. I think if you go, if I do row on, does that then give me settings? Sorry, this isn't very exciting, but let's just take a look. So, right, interface, it's not really that we want, is it? So, show, all right, so your nearby rowers list, that's training. But then mine wasn't turned on anyway, the nearby rowers list, so discard them. Hang on, show other players. So you can turn, oh, there you go, show player tags. That's probably what you're looking for. If you're still here watching, De Nouvelle, is that right? I think possibly if we turn that off, don't know if anyone's going to be around. No, there's no one really. Oh, you can see in the distance actually. Close me. All right, yeah, you can see them there. So, yeah, there's no one really around to prove to prove my point here. So unless somebody rows past me, but I think possibly that setting is the one to go to. So I will reply to your comment in case you're not still watching, and say that. I'll say, hey, carry on watching because you'll see I'd actually show it. Did my little avatar just blow his nose and shake it into the water? Ugh. I'm gonna have to have a word with my avatar. Anyway, ta-da, we're done with another row. I hope you enjoyed that one. I said I was gonna get back to talking about technique, and apart from a little quick burst at the end, I didn't really, but you know what, sometimes, I've said it before, I'll say it again, Sunday mornings are basically where I get to, right, here goes, who's coming past? There you go, so whoever that is, no idea who you are, but you're having a nice little cool down. Oh, your boat's moving sideways, but I don't know your name and I don't see a flag. Here comes someone racing through. So there we go. So yeah, that worked. That was the setting to do. Yeah, so Sunday mornings are basically where just everything that's been kind of banging around my head for a week, I kind of tend to just unload at you. So I hope it's okay. Today was very much about me, which usually, I mean, I tried to, but I remember when I first started this whole YouTube thing, in fact, it was when I was doing my DJ videos, DJing for dummy stuff, and somebody gave me the advice and said, don't make it about you, or if you are making it about you, make sure you also make it about them. Okay, so it's like, here's what I'm going through, and therefore this is how you should approach it, right? Which is what I'm kind of hoping when I was talking about my kind of weight loss goals and that kind of stuff, that I was framing it at least in a way, roll collection, framing it at least in a way that you're able to go, oh yeah, I see what he's saying, maybe if I'm doing the same thing, I can follow it. So I'm hoping that's what it was, rather than just being me talking about me, because that's a bit dull. So like every now and then I think about doing like just a vlog, like doing a kind of like, even I was thinking about after I came back from Vegas and stuff, and after like injury and my back and stuff, I was thinking about just doing a video, just explaining it all. But I thought, how up yourself are you if you're going to make a video about that, for just talking about yourself for half an hour? It needs to always be about how you can learn from what I'm doing. So I am making, just want to check, no, so I didn't get a reply from, oh no, there's more. Oh, hang on, sorry, 1 second. Christian, De Nouvelle setting gameplay. All right, so Christian answered it anyway. Robert Austin in my eyes. And Stevenson in my ears. Steventon, thank you very much. T was my first time today randomly and wanted to row the 40 minutes all in. Or this, would that be? Ronnie, hey, was with you guys, bringing up the rear. Too many pies during it. Dangerous. Yeah, me too, big guy, me too. Pushed it to try and lap you. Andrew Fielden, how dare you? Hope you didn't succeed. Thanks for the company and the sprint finish, Mr. Merg, or Merg. That was good fun. Just passed, as in literally you just passed me? Oh yeah, I just see the carrot just went past. Right, what was I saying? Because I was just finishing off. I've lost my train of thought. Is it going to come back? I don't think it is. Was it important? Probably not. Oh, was it the YouTube thing? Oh yeah, I know what it was. Right, so last thing to say. So somebody has advised and said, because I'm going on this journey, that I should make a video now and say, look at me, this is the state I'm in. Follow me over the next 6 months as I try and lose weight. But the truth is there's loads of videos out there that say that, okay? So somebody comes on, they show a shot of them saying, this is what I used to look like, this is what I look like now, join me on my journey. And then you never get a follow-up video, okay? So you watch this and you go, oh, wonder what's gonna happen. And then you never hear from them because they haven't succeeded. You get someone like Mark Lewis who constantly posts his up and down stuff. His videos are fantastic. And you can get great kind of stuff from him. He's very honest, very entertaining. Yeah, so you could like watch him for this stuff. And as much as I was going to post a video of me kind of standing in my cycling shorts going, this is what I look like right now, I kind of thought, but where's the benefit in that? Okay, apart from obviously my OnlyFans viewers, where's the benefit in doing that? So what I'm doing now is I'm filming myself going through this process, and I'll either wait until like the summer maybe, and then I'll make a here's how I am at the halfway point. This is kind of what I used to look like, what I ended up like, and this is where I am now, and blah, blah, blah. But I'm not going to do like every week because nobody wants to watch that, okay? And I think if I'm going to go through the embarrassment of showing you with my top off and with just a pair of cycling shorts, I want to also show you what I look like now with muscles and a six pack, okay? Because, yeah, that's the plan. So stay tuned. We'll see if that actually happens. But dedication, as long as I don't eat rubbish, as long as I don't drink rubbish, I know it can happen. And I think the important thing is that right now, like I say, I'm 50. And it's a big thing of trying to fitness, like fit at 40 was a big thing, but fit at 50 really is a big thing. And I want to prove that you can do it, even with like quite a dedicated day job and kids and family and stuff, that you can do it. So that's kind of my point of it. Let's see what happens in 6 months, all right? I could be, you never know. So we're done. I've got to go inside, have a shower, have something to drink and eat, and peanut butter on toast today. Which probably isn't the most healthiest thing in the world, but again, you need at times you need to actually have something that you want to eat and not just constantly quinoa and chicken. Well, I do like quinoa, so right. I'm gonna select here. Way there we go. Right, I've even got my big orange T-shirt on to remind me to not snap the carrot when it comes to technique. Yeah, so we're done. Thank you so much for watching this morning. I hope you had a decent cool down while I've been talking there. Thank you for joining me today. Next week is going to be the 5 o'clock in the evening version for the UK. I don't know whether the clocks have changed in the States yet, so I don't know what the time zone is going to be for you. I will update it when I do the card and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, 5 o'clock UK time next week. So I will see you then. In the meantime, have yourselves a fantastic week. Look after yourselves. Do things you enjoy. Spend your time with people who make you happy. And then we'll all come together next Sunday, have a wee row, and you can listen to my rants again for a while. Okay, so until next week, and I'm going to click the buttons properly here so I can actually say goodbye. Yes, and then just kind of say goodbye once. All right, so until next week, please look after yourselves. Take care, be well, row well,